Curb check. Took that turn a little tight, huh? Make sure I got my coffee there.
Sweat inside, make me feel like I'm alive. Take this hurt, lady, throw it in my face. Don't let these bones slow you down. Cause I'm coming on strong. The grass should've looked greener. I need a true believer in disguise. Yeah.
So I woke up this morning. I saw the forecast. It's supposed to be like 5 degrees this morning. So for you guys just now tuning in, my name is Justin Briscoe here at Briscoe Homes. We have been doing some YouTube episodes for the last 3 or 4 months here. We have 33 videos out, and we're here in North Texas, Denison, Texas. As you can see, there's snow everywhere. I'm sure it snowed this much before, but I feel like it's been a long time. I don't remember ever seeing this much snow. I think I was a little kid when this had happened, but it's just crazy. It's a Monday morning. Normally people are out driving around, but man, there's like no one out. I say that. Look at Whataburger, only in Texas. The line's backed up. You gotta love your Whataburger, huh? So we're gonna head to the 40 acres. We're gonna get some firewood. We're having some issues at our Richardson property, the main house, not the lodge. People up north are probably gonna laugh at me. But when I left my house, like no one had been on some of the roads that were over there, and it was like all snow, and so it was just like had a ton of traction. And of course now I'm on the roads that everyone's kind of driving on. It's a little more packed, and so it's a little more icy. Again, I mean, people make fun of drivers in Texas because we don't know how to drive in the snow, and you're right. I mean, we don't get snow like this, so we don't get a lot of practice, but I will say with it all packed down, it is a little more. This is scary. There's Jason Earnhardt. He's a local investor, Jason and Jonathan Earnhardt. Earnhardt built. If you're from around here, you for sure know those guys. And of course, we're all landlords. We're out and about, making sure our tenants are getting taken care of and checking on our properties. We're having a lot of issues with water freezing. Again, it's 3 degrees. I mean, we very rarely have temperatures like, I mean, we'll freeze. We go under 32 during the winter quite often, but normally at night, and it's not for like an extended amount of time. I mean, we've been under 32 degrees last week, and of course, today we're 3 degrees, so this is just nuts. You can look at this road. I feel like there's like one car. Maybe, no, here's some more cars. Definitely not a lot of cars have been on this road. Like I said, the old Lexi, this is a kind of a Land Cruiser platform. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with this. It's a 2002 Lexus. I love Land Cruisers, and I've just thoroughly enjoyed this vehicle. It's all-time four-wheel drive, so unfortunately it's not as fun as what I guess it could be in the snow. But it makes for a great vehicle in the snow. We're on snow that no one's driven on. So we're on asphalt right now, and we just hit gravel right now. This is entering our 40 acres. You guys probably aren't used to footage like this of the 40 acres. This is the first time I've seen the tiny homes in this big snow, so hopefully they're still standing. Hopefully I did a good job building them. during the day 4 coyotes just run across the front yard. It's kind of cool. I don't know what wire to cut. Should we cut green, black, yellow, red? The security system keeps going off. We gotta cut the right wire. We're good. I mean, dude, if electricity goes out, I mean, they act like they'll just sleep in the living room. I was like, I mean, honestly, that's what we're dealing with. Like, this is once in a 30, 40 year storm that, I mean, we're just not used to.
We're doing the same thing in our houses.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's struggling. I mean, luckily, they still have water and they still have electricity for the most part.
And it's supposed to snow again Wednesday, bro.
Yeah. I've never seen this in my lifetime. I mean, I've heard this last time this happened was like in the 80s. And maybe I was a baby, but dude, this is nuts. Like, we've never seen this. Like, we've gotten snow similar to this, but like, it didn't get this cold and it wasn't this thick.
Well, they're saying that now we're gonna have it should kill all the larvae for mosquitoes and everything for the summer.
Oh,
like this kind of hard freeze.
That's sweet.
This week's done.
Yeah.
My guys ain't working.
And then, like you said, you won't be working next week probably because all this is gonna thaw out and just be a muddy mess.
Dude, yeah. I mean, this could really ruin us for a month.
Man. I'll take out a electric pole. Okay, let's go start another fire. Just coming here today and doing an update. We're actually dealing with a lot of our rental homes that we have. We just left an Airbnb space, the Richardson property you guys just saw. We're having electrical issues. Sounds like a lot of people are losing electricity because my understanding is there's a lot of electricity getting used with all the electric heating. And so it's hitting the grid and they're doing like rolling blackouts or brownouts or I'm not really sure. We're not used to this in North Texas. In the past, we've lost electricity because of trees freezing and like, I'm sure falling and breaking power lines. That's happened a lot in the past. And so we had to get the fire started. So just left there, checked on the lodge, running around, checking on some other properties. We're fixing to head to another rental house that I've had for a little while. I think we built probably 2 years ago. They're saying the heater's not working. So I don't know if it's something as simple as a breaker or if their electricity's out. We're asking if the electricity's out and they said it's on. So we're just gonna go check it, do our due diligence and see what we can do to help them out. Let's head over to that house in Parnell and see if we can't figure out that heater. Let's go. What if I tripped and fell? Ooh, ooh. I think I might lose that tree. So it's running, that's good news. Looks like someone's living in it. Not supposed to be. Walking through the back. When I first got into real estate, like that's the type of stuff we would buy all the time, or just these old, vacant, really rough homes, and we were getting them for back taxes. We were getting from individuals who just didn't want them anymore. And we'd buy houses for 5, 10. I mean, I'd kind of get mad if I had to pay 15, 20 grand for a house that was kind of run down like that. And we'd go in and fix them up a little bit and get them rented out. I mean, that was the bulk of our portfolio when we started. And then, of course, I've told you guys this before, but we would acquire a lot of lots as we were buying these houses. And really, we didn't know what we were going to do with the lots at the time. New construction just wasn't something that was happening. I mean, no one was building. I mean, people were building like custom, semi-custom homes for themselves. But from an investment perspective, like no one was building. And when I say no one, this was like 2010 to like 2014, 2015 range. We got to a point where we had a lot of these rentals and we were sitting on a lot of lots. And I'm pausing here because shoot to the right, not the teal or the funky green, but that house right there, that was our house that we built a couple years ago. At the same time, we just built the house we left. And then we'll see another house up here that we built. We saw that new construction could be a potential because we'd go in these old houses and we got to a point where we were dumping a lot of money into them and fixing them up nice. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're still an old house. They're not going to be as efficient as a new home unless you just take it down to the studs, which, I mean, a lot of the time that's just not cost effective. Here's another house right here we built at the same time. I think when we were building these, we built like 6 at a time. This one, the one you just saw, and then the house we just left. We're gonna run up on 3 more here that we built. So the point I was getting to is we had a lot of those old houses we just passed, and so when I would see a house like that, I used to get really, really excited because I knew there was an opportunity there. And there's still opportunity now, but it's just the market's so hot, it's just so saturated. And so a house that we would pay $5 grand for, I mean, heck, now it takes $50,000 to knock down that same house. And then I still gotta go in and put $50,000, $60,000 into it potentially to make it a nice rentable home, whereas we were sitting on all these lots and these houses would not cost that now, but at the time, I think I was building those houses for like $60,000, $65,000. And so we owned the lots that we had bought for like $200, $500. So, I mean, those houses were slam dunks. I didn't realize how much of a slam dunk these houses were. Check out these 3 right here. So here's 3 more that we've got. We built all 3 of these at the same time. Each one rents for $1,200, so that's $3,600 for those 3. And whereas those cost $60, $65 to build, materials and subcontractors started going up more expensive. So those 3 were about a year and a half later, and those cost us, I think we were low to mid 70s on those. Now that house is probably going to cost me $85, $90 with where material is at. And so I can continue to build those, but we have enough rental, our rental portfolio is big enough to where we cash flow enough to where we do well, and we kind of transition into Airbnb. And so that's the main reason I took off 2020 from building, is because a house that I used to build for 60 is now costing me 85, 90, but it still rents the same. Rental did go up there for a little while, and it got us up to that 1,200, but now we've kind of pegged out at that 1,200, which, I mean, $1,200 a month, that's a lot of money for a 950, I didn't tell y'all, that's a 950 square foot, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. I mean, that's just, I feel bad for my tenants some of the time. That's a lot of money, but that's the market. And so if I can build that house for 60 3 years ago and now build it for 90 and still rent it for the same amount, there's just, from my perspective, there's a lack of motivation to build those if I'm not having to build those to sell, to make money, or create more rental portfolio. Now, I'm not saying I won't keep building those, but I want to see what this market's going to do. We're here in the beginning of 2021, and we don't know where this market's going to go. We've been in a 12-year bull market, and real estate's just like taken off like crazy. And so I want to see what this market's going to do before we just double down and build a lot more homes. Yes, we are building the 6 tiny homes, but that's on a very unique property. Airbnb is just killing it right now, and I've told you this before, I did not want to start building those houses yet. I wanted to wait till we saw what this market did, but again, we're going to miss out on potential Airbnb income this summer, and so I wanted to get them built so we could cash flow them. I brought a lot of that up because we just drove by 6 of my rental homes within like a 5-block area, and I just kind of wanted to show you guys a different side of my business y'all have not really seen, our long-term rentals. But yeah, there was 6 of them just now. I believe Airbnb does well because of how unique the house is, or how unique the location is. So if you look at our Airbnb units currently, there's that truck again. They're in unique areas. For example, the cabin, the tiny home, the Richardson property, it's outside city limits, sitting on 15 acres, just beautiful out in the middle of nowhere. The 6 tiny homes that we're building on a cool hill outside city limits, just really neat views. The 3 houses we actually have down the road here on Myrick, we have 3 Myrick units that are like 2 blocks from Main Street, and they do really, really well. So we still have a lot of long-term rentals, but we're transitioning into the Airbnb. The other thing with Airbnb is, like, we have found that the tenants seem a little bit easier to deal with. Like, you get a long-term tenant in there and you're at the risk of rent not getting paid, and then you have to go through the eviction process. Like with Airbnb, Like we don't get people in the house unless Airbnb's collected their money. So I mean, they've already paid the money up front by the time they're coming to rent from us. And so that's huge from our perspective. Plus, I mean, the biggest motivation is, whereas I'm getting $1,200 on that house, that same house that's in a unique area like the Myricks, I mean, we're making $2,500, $3,000 a month on Airbnb. Granted, that's gross. Taxes and insurance are fixed, whether it's long-term, short-term. Insurance is a little bit more expensive on short-term. And then, of course, there's expenses such as electric, water, and internet that I pay for on Airbnb. But everything else, like the taxes that get paid, the cleaning fees, that's all paid by the tenants. And so right now, the market we're in, Airbnb does substantially better than long-term rentals. And so we're gonna blow some steam off and have some fun on the four-wheeler and get in the snow and do some donuts. So if you guys are liking these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave some comments down below and let me know what you think. Peace. Check. Ow! You're good. Just a little curb check. Give it a little gas. Like a pro. See what I mean? There you go. Ha ha ha!